Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namaskara veva buduruvanata. Samada mama budu sarana yami. Namaskara veva damruvanata. Samada sadham sarana yami. Namaskara veva sangharuvanata. Samada mama sangha sarana yami. Namaskara veva tunuruvanata. Samada Theruvana sarana yami. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Chattarimani bhikkhave brahma viharani katamani chattari metta karuna mudita upekkkhati. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the perfectly enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in the Dhamma, today we are going to discuss how we can live like a Brahma, bearing a human body. The way how we live as a Brahma or as the Brahma. This is the path that Buddha has explained how we achieve that one of our goals in our life. And here Buddha explained how we develop our mind to the maximum level in this circle of the world. It is not just overcoming the circle, but living in this samsaric journey, in the circle of life, how we can improve our mind to the maximum level. After that, after consideration, Buddha again explains how we overcome this circle of the journey, the circle of the world. All Buddhist doctrines focus on how we overcome suffering. That is the main purpose of everyone. Here, before we attain real happiness, first of all, we should understand how suffering arises. Until we understand how suffering arises, even though we are well educated, even though we are very rich, we don't know the way how we achieve the real happiness. People in the world, they think that they are happy. They are spending a happy life. But even though they are well educated, even though they have a lot of facilities, they know the real way how we achieve the real happiness. If we see something, if we experience something in the outside world, when we experience something in the outside world, if we think that experience comes to me according to that experience, it means we are ignorant, and also it means we are not away from the suffering. We experience something, Buddhism doesn't say that there are no something outside. There are something outside. Outside there are only 4 elements. Earth element, fire element, water element, wind elements, air elements. These are the 4 elements that we can see everywhere. We name for things and people. But in the bottom level, there are only these 4 things. Here, little by little, we are going to the deeper level. And first of all, we should understand how suffering arises. Whenever we are unhappy, whenever we are suffering, it means our mind is polluted with greed, anger, and delusion. These are the 3 unwholesome defilements which disturb our peace of mind. If we are intelligent, we should be mindful. When we are mindful, we are away from these 3 negative thoughts. In this situation, first of all, we should understand the real enemies who disturb our peace of mind. Buddha says, it is easy to defeat hundreds of enemies in the battlefield. But the most important thing is to defeat the enemies who are inside. There are 3 enemies. They are attachment, greed, desire or lustful desire, and also ill will, anger or hatred, and delusion or ignorance. These are the major defilements, so these are the real enemies who disturb our peace of mind, who steal our inner peace. If we are intelligent, we should be mindful. If we are mindful, we don't give any chance to this anything. That is the way how we show our skillfulness. If we are skillful, we are mindful. When we are mindful, we don't give chance to these persons, these enemies, to disturb our inner peace. Among these 3 enemies, greed, anger, and delusion or ignorance, we should understand the nature of these 3 enemies. Greed means attachment. Anger means disattachment or ill will. Greed and anger arise because of ignorance. When we experience something, if we think that experience comes from outside, it means we are not away from attachment and disattachment. When we go to the mirror, when we want to see our reflection, we go to the mirror. Until we understand the reflection in mirror arises because of our physical body, we can't go away from anger and greed. As soon as we go to the mirror, the reflection arises in the mirror. That reflection arises with the conditions when our physical body is in front of the mirror, when lights are here, when our consciousness is here. When we look at there, we can see the mirror. We can see the reflection. That reflection was not here before we went here. the reflection doesn't remain after we leave the mirror. If we have this understanding, we never catch the mirror when we want to experience our reflection. If we want to correct our physical body, we never go to outside. If we want to correct something in our physical body, we put our hand in here. We never put our hand outside. In the same way, when we experience something throughout our six senses, if we are unhappy, or if we enjoy with something, we never appreciate or blame outside. That happiness or suffering arises because of our mental conditions, mental formations, our attachment and delusion or ignorance. Nobody can bring us happiness or suffering. Happiness or suffering arises according to our mental conditions. That experience also arises at the moment. It was not anywhere before we experience. Like when you listening this sound was not anywhere. This sound arises because of several reasons at the moment. After you experience this sound doesn't remain anywhere. But our ignorance doesn't accept this reality. Our delusion always invites us to think that before we experience something, there was something here. After we experience, our delusion doesn't accept that. It ceases. Throughout practicing Dhamma, we try to overcome this delusion. We can't do it directly. We should go forward little by little on this path. First of all, we should recognize these three things. Greed is difficult to overcome, but results are not dangerous. How about anger? Anger is easy to overcome, but results are more dangerous. How about delusion? Delusion is so difficult to overcome, and also results are more dangerous. Greed and anger arise because of delusion. Delusion is like the main switch or trip switch. These are like other parts like fridge, oven, microwave. Even though we put off this greed or anger, sometimes we have an equal mind, but we are not away from delusion. Anytime those can be arises. And in this situation, little by little, Buddha has explained how we overcome defilements or negative thoughts. On this path, Buddha has proclaimed a very gradual path. Buddhist path is like, when we go to the ocean deepens little by little from the beach to the bottom level. This is spiritual path also like that. Little by little we go to the deeper level. Like the ocean deepens. And here Buddha says, in the primary level, we practice 3 meritorious deeds. When we practice generosity, when we give something to others with kind heart, then we can overcome greed in some levels. But even though we give up everything with our physical body, we can't overcome samsaric journey until we overcome delusion. And to overcome anger, Buddha has proclaimed a primary level skill, that practicing loving kindness. One of the signs that we are on the path of liberation is that practicing loving kindness. If we don't practice loving kindness, it means we are not ready to see the beauty of our life. Even though we are very rich, even though we are well educated, we are not ready to see the beauty of our mind until we practice loving kindness. That is why Buddha says in the Karanimetta Sutta, he who wants to achieve inner peace has to practice loving kindness. Yantam santam padang adisamecca. Anger is one of the major reasons that disturbs our peace of mind. Anger is one of the major reasons which steals our beauty of mind. If we want to see the beauty of our mind, we have to overcome anger little by little. That is why we practice loving kindness. Loving kindness invites us to become real happiness. Practicing generosity invites us to achieve happiness. And on this path, dana or generosity can be divided into three. Amisa dana, abhaya dana, dhamma dana. Amisa dana means material offerings. Material offerings. When you offer some food, clothes, or something to others as material things, that is amisa dana. Sometimes we give people fearlessness, abhaya dana. When someone is close to dying, if we can save their life, that is abhaya dana. Giving fearlessness. Everyone likes their life. When somebody is struggling with living, if we can help them, if we can postpone their death, we can't control, we can only postpone it. Even though we give up everything that we have in the name of living forever, we can't do it. We can only postpone. And however, we give up everything if we want to postpone our life. When you are close to die, just a moment, if somebody says that I can postpone your death for 1 year, but you should give everything that you have earned, what do? You are ready to give up everything. But that person give you only 1 year. After 1 year, you definitely have to die. But however, if we can give fearlessness to someone, it is also one of the great merits. And also, Dhamma dana, delivering Buddha's message, Dhamma. Sabba danan, Dhamma danan jinati. Gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. If you give food to someone, it is useful for a few days. If you offer a cloth to someone, It is useful for 1 year or 2 years. If you give a job to someone, it is useful until he or she is retired. If you give a house, that is useful only for living. But if you help a person with the Dhamma, it is beneficial for his entire sansaric journey, not only for this life. That is why Buddha says, Sabbadhanam Dhammadhanam Jinati. The gift of Dhamma excels all other gifts. And that is why one of kings who ruled Sri Lanka, you have heard sometimes, King Dhammagaru. He heard the results of Dhammadana, gift of Dhamma. He wanted to deliver a sermon. When he was ready to deliver a Dhamma, at that time there were Arantas in Sri Lanka. They also came to listening to Dhamma of King Dhammagaru. At that moment, even though he was a powerful king, he couldn't deliver a sermon. He was sweating. Sweating. He was sweating. Because he was in front of the Arantas. He couldn't deliver a sermon. After that, he decided to send lecturers for Dhamma for every village. And he paid money. He gave money. He gave gifts, Dhamma gifts, for the people who delivered the Dhamma. He wanted to fulfill this Dhammadana, the gift of Dhamma. That is why he decided to do that thing. However, these 3 givings, offerings or generosities can be practiced as much as we can, if we are knowledgeable. Dana is the first level meritorious deed that we can practice in the name of the purification of our mind. It is not only the merit, it is one of the merits among 3 meritorious deeds. The second one is discipline or sila. The first one is dana or generosity. It also can be divided into 3: amisadana, abhayadana, dhammadana. And the second meritorious deed is sila or discipline or morality. Discipline our speech and behavior. Why do we have a good discipline? For our inner peace. If we have mistakes, doing something physically or verbally, after we do something, we have to regret. That is why, in the name of regretting of our mistakes, we should practice a good discipline. Especially on the path of liberation, we should have a moral life. That is why Buddha says, before you do something, you have to reflect on it again and again whether it is correct. When you speak something, reflect on it again and again whether it is correct. And also Buddha says, when you think something, reflect on it again and again whether it is correct. Paccavekkitva kayena kammam katabbam. Do something throughout your body, reflecting on it again and again. Paccavekkhitva vācāya kammam kātabbam. Before you speak something, reflect on it again and again whether it is correct. Paccavekkhitva manasāya kammam kātabbam. When you think something, reflect on it again and again whether it is correct. That is the advice of the Buddha. Sila means discipline in our speech and behavior in the name of happiness. We are going forward on the path of inner peace. We are going away from suffering by practicing Dhamma. And the third meritorious deed is, according to Buddhism, bhavana or mental culture, meditation. Develop in our mind. The main thing which decides our happiness is our mental conditions. Our happiness depends on how far we have purified our mind. Therefore, we should have an ability to make a pure mind. Pure mind decides our happiness. Beautiful, good complexion body doesn't decide our happiness. Our educated children don't decide our happiness. Our monthly payment doesn't decide our happiness. Our educational qualifications don't decide our happiness. Our happiness completely depends on how far we have overcome negative thoughts, how far we have developed wisdom. Those are the things which decide our real happiness. And bhavana also can be divided into two. According to Buddhism, before Buddha appeared in the world, there were some meditation techniques in the world, especially in India. There were some persons who had psychic energy before Buddha appeared in the world. There were some ascetic people who went to the Brahma realm for after lunch. Deva Viharani. They got lunch in the human world. For the rest of after lunch, they went to Brahma realm to meet some Brahmas. And in this situation, Buddhism explains both meditation techniques. One of them is samatha meditation. Samatha means concentration meditation, and vipassana meditation, insight meditation. Samatha means concentration or practicing mindfulness, give our full attention in a particular wholesome object for a long time, such as breathing, loving kindness, contemplating on Buddha's qualities, contemplating on death, reflecting on form or earth, reflecting on colors like red, blue, white. Those are the meditation techniques that we can use for concentration. As the result of practicing samatha meditation, we can keep our attention or awareness for a long time in a particular wholesome object. As the result of practicing samatha meditation, we can gain some kind of spiritual development. It says Buddhism as jhana, or some kind of mental steps, higher mental steps. And the vipassana meditation it focuses on reflecting on impermanence, reflecting on reality in the world. Even though someone can concentrate his or her mind, he is not successful when after Buddha appeared in the world. Before Buddha appeared in the world, there were some successful persons in the world who had developed their mind to the maximum level in samatha or concentration meditation. But after Buddha appeared in the world, Buddha discovered, analyzed, and proclaimed the highest quality that we can practice, wisdom, or vidya, or right understanding, panya. Even though there were some ascetic people before Buddha appeared in the world, they didn't recognize the nature of ignorance. Even though they developed their mind to the maximum level in samatha or concentration, they were not away from the circle of samsara, because they are still in ignorance. And after Buddha appeared in the world, by his supramundane comprehension, Buddha realized the highest quality that we can practice and the highest quality that we can achieve, wisdom, intelligence, contemplating on three characteristics, anicca, dukkha, anatta. And however, now we are going to discuss the samatha or concentration meditation. Here Buddha explains 4 sublime states of mind. They are metta, karuna, mudita, upekha. Metta means loving kindness. We are friendly with everyone. We think that may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Again and again we reflect on this loving kindness. First, we can divide people according to directions, according to some places. For, sometimes we can say all people in the east direction, all people in the west direction, all people in the north direction, south direction, upper direction, down direction. We can divide all people according to these 6 directions sometimes. Sometimes we can improve it. On the other side, we can divide people according to places, like this place, this city, like we practiced before we discussion. And however, first we get all people in the world when we practice loving kindness. But when we go to the deeper level, we get only one person who is living in the same gender. When our mind is concentrated little by little, then we select only one person. You can select your mom or your sister. You can select your father or your brother who is still living.
Has to be same gender?
Same gender. Then we focus only one person when we go to the deeper level in concentration. And in the primary level, benefits of practicing loving kindness is to overcome anger. But the highest level of practicing concentration is jhana. Or we try to concentrate our mind in a particular wholesome object for a long time. That is the highest purpose of practicing samatha or concentration meditation. But in the primary level, we want to overcome anger. When we practice marananusati, the contemplating on death, as a primary benefit, we develop our courage, dedication. And when we go to the deeper level, we concentrate our mind throughout practicing marananusati or contemplating on death. when we practice loving kindness, when we are friendly with other people, we don't stop in loving kindness. We go forward gradually. We are practicing compassion. We create a compassionate heart. We are compassionate. When other people are suffering, we are ready to escape them from suffering. We are ready to help them. We have a kind heart because we are compassionate. Not only we are friendly, if we can, we always try to help them. Not only material helps, but the highest help is that helping with the Dhamma. You know, in the society you can see there are many people who are friendly, who are compassionate. They help for the people with some clothes, food, shelters. They do. It is not bad. But as Buddhists, we especially focus on the highest advantage when we help others. It doesn't mean that we are away from offering some material things. Actually, we do practice everything. Buddha says, not only for human beings, even you meet an animal, before, when you eat something, you should practice your generosity. You should offer something to even an animal. And while we are practicing these primary level generosities, we are going to the deeper level, delivering Dhamma to others. That is the highest gift that we can give a person. And compassion. When we practice loving kindness, we have compassion. When other people are suffering, we are ready to help them, materially or spiritually. And not only compassion that we have when other people are successful, when others succeed, we are happy. Mudita, sympathetic joy, it means the opposite of jealousy. We are happy when our close relatives and friends are successful, but sometimes we are jealous other people are successful. But as a person who practices loving kindness, he is happy when other people are successful because he has the knowledge of karmic law. He thinks that everyone in the world is his close relative or friend in his previous life. Even though some people are in other houses, actually they were our close relatives and friends. As our parents, as our siblings, as our children, they have helped us a lot in our previous lives. In this understanding, when other people succeed, we are ready to bless them. That is one of the qualities that we have practiced in these four sublime states: mudita, sympathetic joy. And also, we are going forward. Not only we stop in sympathetic joy, we make equal mind, upekha, equanimity. What is the meaning of equanimity? We create a balance, perfect, unshaken mind among good and bad, among the Attaloka Dhamma, the 8 worldly conditions in 8-fold vicissitudes. Have you heard vicissitudes? Yes, after you go home, please check the Google. Vicissitude. I think can see it in your page, I think, number 5. Yes. Vicissitudes. VICI. Yes. Attaloka Dhamma. It means, according to Buddhism, there are 8 things everyone has to face. Attaloka Dhamma. Labha labha. Labha labha means gain and loss. Yasa ayasa. Honor and dishonor. Prasansa ninda, praise and blame. Sapa dukha, happiness and sadness. For misery. Whether we like or not, we have to face these 8 things during our lifetime. If we can create an equal mind, balanced mind, unshaken mind, we can live without going these extremes. When somebody appreciates you, you have an unshaken mind. When someone blames you, you have a balanced mind. You are not happy or unhappy. This is one of the highest mental conditions that we can practice on the path of liberation. And these 4 things are practiced by parents. Buddha says, when Buddha appeared in the world, some people who are in India, they think that Brahma is only in the Brahma realm. Buddha says, you can't see those Brahmas in Brahma realm yet, but there are some visible Brahmas at home. Who they are? They are your parents. Your parents practice these 4 things, but they practice these 4 qualities only for their children. Their compassion, loving kindness, sympathetic joy and equanimity only at home. Outside, they have no these 4 things. Actually, if someone can practice these 4 things for everyone in the world, that person is like the Brahma. Bearing a human body, mentally, we can live as the Brahma if we can practice these 4 sublime states. Loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy and equanimity. These are the qualities that the Brahma practices in the human world. As the result of practicing these 4 sublime states, he was born in the Brahma realm. Mahabrahma is only one person, there are other Brahmas too. They all practiced these 4 qualities when they were in the human life, human world. As the result of practicing these 4 qualities, they could go to the Brahma realm. Buddha advises us how we make a Brahma mind. If we can always with these 4 sublime states, we are so happy. And we have no big problems in our mind. And day by day, we should go forward with these 4 mental states for the path of liberation. And not only developing our concentration according to Buddhism, we have to practice wisdom too. With a concentrated mind, we should understand what happens to our life. Even though we live with these 4 sublime states, still we are ignorant. We don't know the way how suffering arises. We don't know the way how real happiness arises. But here especially, before Buddha appeared in the world, there were some people who practiced these four qualities, but they stopped in these four conditions. But as Buddhists, in this time, in this period, when we practice concentration, before we start this journey, we start with Sammaditthi, right understanding. The people who were before the Buddha, they had only the first level of right understanding, Kammasakata Sammaditthi. But we, who practice the Dhamma with the knowledge of the Buddha, we have not only the level of the karmic law, we have the knowledge how suffering arises and ceases. The second level of the Sammaditthi, right understanding, Arya Sammaditthi. They who were before the Buddha stopped in concentration, but we don't stop in concentration. After our mind is concentrated, we automatically reflect on impermanence. Samahito bhikkhave yatha bhutam bhajanati. He who concentrates his mind reflects on impermanence. He doesn't stop in concentration. As soon as mind concentrated, his enjoyment is to practice impermanence, reflect on impermanence. Because he knows the real solution of the problem. Because he has recognized the real challenges that he has. What are the real challenges that we have in front of us? Yes, very good. Decay, death and rebirth. These are the real challenges. Other challenges are not the big challenges. These are the challenges why we need a spiritual teacher. Buddha says, a Buddha shines in the world, dabble in it, shines in the world because of these three reasons. And also, a Buddha's message shines in the world because of three reasons. Buddha and his teachings give the solution for these challenges, three challenges. And as soon as our mind is concentrated, we reflect on inside. But other people, after their mind is concentrated, they look at outside. But we, Buddha's followers, when we concentrate our mind, then we reflect on inside. What happens to my life? What happens to my mind and body? Whatever I experience throughout six senses at the moment, five aggregates arise. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Whatever you see throughout your eyes, ears, nose, these are the main faculties or senses. And whatever we experience, these five aggregates immediately at the moment arise. When you listen in this sound, when you see this picture, when you think something which happened in the past, if you keep your hand here, when you eat something, when you smell something, that experience, when that experience arises, these five aggregates automatically arise. And also, if we have delusion, then our mind goes to outside. Like pets, pets when they go to the mirror, they bark to outside because they think that there is someone outside. We are also ignorant when we think something is outside. It doesn't mean that there is no something outside. There is something outside. But that experience arises at the moment. Like this sound. According to conventional truth, before you were born in the world, everything is here. Even though you die, these things remain. According to conventional truth, but conventional truth is not the real truth. Buddha explains the ultimate truth, Paramattha Satya. According to Paramattha Satya, we experience creating a world. When we open our eyes, then we open the world. When we hear something, when we smell something, we create the world. That world is not permanent. That world we create at the moment. That experience didn't come to the present from the past. That present experience will not go to future from the present. Buddha has explained the karmic force, the karmic energy depending on this truth. Before Buddha appeared in the world, there were some ascetic people who believed the karmic law. They explained the karmic law depending on the conventional truth. As the Buddha appeared in the world, Buddha also explained the karmic law, but Buddhism explains the karmic law with the knowledge of the dependent origination. That's the difference. Our present consciousness influences next moment, future moment. But the present consciousness directly doesn't go to future. Our past experience influenced the present moment. The present moment influences future moment. But it certainly doesn't go. And Buddha explains the karmic law in Buddhism depending on the dependent origination, Patisampada. That is the interesting thing in Buddhism. Actually, it can be approved in the world physically. First, we should be confident in Buddha's enlightenment. When we go forward on this path, we can realize by ourselves. But at the very beginning, if we criticize, we don't reach a path. Confidence, saddha, we should have in this moment, in this level. When you have address wherever you have gone, first of all, you should have a confidence. If you criticize, if you have a doubt about the address, you can never reach the destination. When you go to a classroom, first you believe the teacher has the qualifications. That is why you take the classes. If you have a doubt, you never go to a class. When you go to a doctor, sometimes you may see the certificate which are on the wall, but you never go to the university to take the number. You have a confidence that person is a real doctor. That is why you take medicine and you get recovery. We also should be like that. Actually, we believe a lot of things in the world. by faith. How about your birthday? Huh? You remember your birthday? How do you believe your mother and father? Did you check their DNA? No, we never checked. We believe those things in confidence, by confidence. But we have no problem. We are sure. And like that, on this path, at the very beginning, we should have some confidence in Buddha's enlightenment. That is the place where should be confident. It doesn't mean that forever we should have the confidence. When we go to the path, when we see the result, our confidence is over. When you reach the destination, wherever you went, after you reach the destination, your confidence in your friend who gave the address is over. And like that, on this path, first we should have a confidence, but it is not a blind faith. It is an understandable confidence. Buddha never says, come and believe. Buddha invites us, come and see, not come and believe. How do we see it? Throughout practicing this message, throughout our life. And the very special thing in Buddhism is understanding of arising and ceasing of suffering, or ignorance or delusion. Delusion is the very important thing that we should understand. What is the delusion? The delusion can be explained in various ways. One of them is, as I mentioned before, when we experience something, if we think before we experience it was here and after we experience it will remain, that is also ignorance. And ignorance can be, or delusion can be explained in hundreds of ways, not only particular ways. And also when you experience something throughout your eyes, if you think that form belongs to my eyes, belongs to that matter, belongs to my mind or consciousness, that is also ignorance. When you look at these flowers, if you are happy, you may think that this happiness comes from outside, or this beauty belongs to this flower, or this beauty belongs to my eyes, or this sound and this beauty belongs to my consciousness. That is also ignorance, illusion. And also, when we discuss again and again Dhamma, actually, Mr. Sanandu, you can see very well because you continuously come to the class, you are so fortunate. Actually, day by day, we are going to the deeper level. And this is the place where I continuously explain Buddha's message day by day to the deeper level. Because we meet you weekly. Some people, we meet some people monthly. Some people we meet annually. The memorial day of their parents, where they practice generosity. Once a year, some people come to the temple with having some food to the monks and transfer merits to their departed relatives. Actually, you are so lucky, so fortunate, because we weekly discuss, and not only discuss, we go to the deeper level. And today, we discuss a lot of things. And also, with a concentrated mind, we reflect on impermanence. What is the impermanence? Impermanence means the real meaning, not being occurred comes to occurrence, being occurred will not go to occurrence. Please learn by heart this sentence. In every handout, you can see this same sentence anywhere. Ahutva sambutam hutva nabhavisati. It is in handout. Ahutva sambutam hutva nabhavisati. In page 5, bottom of the page 5, it is in English. Not being occurred comes to occurrence. Being occurred will not go to occurrence. This is the place where you can see you are fortunate. Even though you receive this entire world, you are not fortunate. Even though you received this earth, solar system, galaxy and universe, you are not fortunate. You are more fortunate if you listen to this sentence. Be sure. Ahutva sambutam hutva nabhavisati. You have done a lot of merits in your previous lives for only one thing, to listen to this sentence. Be sure. This is the place where the junction, you directly turn to the liberation. All people go to the down level, Ansotagami. When you are listening to this message, you go to the upper level, Padisotagami. You go to the upper level of the river. You swim the upper level. All people are swimming down level. Even Chakravarti Raja, the king for all over the world, and Chakravarti Raja, the king of gods, Brahma, the king of Brahma realm, all people are swimming the down level, Anusotagami. The person who are finding the Sotapanna, the liberation, enlightenment, swims the upper level of the river, having the understanding of this sentence. Okay. Have you any questions? Please try to read this handout again. I think sometimes you have received this handout before, but I have some changes here. Be sure. Every two handouts are not same. Okay, even though sometimes topic is same, there are some special things are inside.
Dhammagaru, like teaching other people Dharma and getting
offering some Dhamma books.
Yes.
Yes. Offering some CDs, flash drives, showing some links in Google or Internet. That is also Dhammagaru. In the present society, we are so lucky. We have various ways how we fulfill Dhammagaru. In the ancient time, we have only the one way to deliver sermon. Right. Now you can offer the food books. You can invite the monks to deliver a sermon. Right. And you can share some CDs with the Dhamma. And these are the ways that we can practice Dhammagaru.
You can even send this to your friend, right?
Yes.
Send this to your friend, right?
Yes.
And invite someone to come here.
Yes, that's the way. That is also Dhammagaru. Okay, thank you for your good attention and participation. I wish you all the best, and I wish you a spiritual path now the time to transfer the merits to our departed relatives. By the power of all these merits that you acquired at the moment, may our departed relatives, friends, receive these merits and may they develop their energy, enhance their spiritual energy, and may they also attain final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to our departed relatives. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. Idam me ñātīnam hotu sukhitā hontu ñātayo. By the power of all these merits, may guardian deities and angels also rejoice with these merits, and may they enhance their spiritual energy. May they also attain final bliss of liberation, and may they keep their eye on you too. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to guardian deities and angels to recite in the Gatha. Ākāsattha ca bummattha devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam. Ākāsattha ca bummattha devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu desanam. Ākāsattha ca bummattha devā nāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu tvaṃ sadā. By the power of all these merits, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no problems come to you, may no difficulties come to you. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham pantā ca nindukkhā, bhayam pantā ca nibbhayā, sokam pantā ca nissokā, hontu sabbe pipānino. Dukin pelena sat, dukin medetvā, bien pelena sat, bien tīvetvā. Sovim tevena sat, somnas vetvā, nitin meham sat, suvapat vetvā. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.